So welcome everyone. There might be some people coming late, so and there will be presentations that will follow this sequence. I am recording all the presentations, including the slides, and you will get the individual PowerPoint that comes with the presentations as well. So you'll have both the explanations and the slides. There has been one welcome day, which is more institutional, where you saw the doctoral school. And this one is a bit more informal, where we will provide you some information on, in practice, how do you get to log on the Tutora system, because it is linked to your follow-up from the doctoral schools, but also for your reimbursement of your university fees. I will give you a bit more details about how to do this correctly, and then it should be fine for the next 3 years, I hope. There will be around 8 to 10 presentations, depending on how many people come. Usually all of them should be here. There was also the question of giving you a t-shirt, a graduate school t-shirt. So the people who already got theirs last time, that's fine, but those who haven't, can you please come to me later, and I will write down your name, and then I'll tell you whether I can give it to you at the break that we'll have at the end. To keep you in the presentation, at the end, around 5:10, 5:15, in the 25, which is outside on the right, we will provide a small snack and drinks so that we can get to meet each other, and if speakers stay behind, you can also discuss with the speakers and ask them questions. To introduce you, the first part, the graduate office, uh, is, is on the website, on the web campus. So I'm going to go there and show it to you. So this is the site. If you go on web campus, you can navigate to that just by typing graduate office in the navigation search engine, which is here, and you will end up here. And there you will find a few buttons here that will give you some ideas about some important aspects of your PhD at Pasteur. So there's a description of the comité de suivi individuel. So it's the individual thesis follow-up committees that has to be established for each doctoral school. There are some indications on people who are doing a special, not a special PhD, but a kind of a new arrangement between industry, Pasteur, and the university, which is called CIFRE. This is here because we are now closer to Université Paris-Cité, which is the biggest of our partnership, and their biggest doctoral school is BioSPC. So there are some indications as to how to know what they do and what they ask. There is a PhD guide which gives you important links to what you can do and follow while you are here. And there is a link to the tutorat system here, and some frequently asked questions. There's a special link to the university fees and reimbursement procedures, including the new Concur method that you have to follow. Because in the past, it used to be on a more, how would you say, simpler interface, and now it has turned into a more complex one because they are using analytical accounting. So you have to enter specific budget lines and so on and so forth. So it is a bit more complex, but all the details are here. I know that many of you rush and already started completing their reimbursement. I have a list of around 20 failed requests because you put the wrong budget line or you distributed the reporting in the wrong way. So while this is being sorted out, it means you're not getting reimbursed. So I want you to all follow these steps so that in one click, I just validate it. Okay, it saves me time, it saves you time and money. There is also a new button for the departmental representatives for the PhDs. Each one of your 13 departments, including the IDA, which is the Institut de l'Édition, you have a pair, so 2 representatives and 2 substitutes. Any problem you have, you can go to them and ask. So we will have a presentation by one of the departmental reps further down the presentation list that will give you an idea of the roles and duties of the reps and how you can interact with them. Okay, so this is the place where you can have all this kind of information, and further down, so this is the picture we took last time. So I think some of you are missing on it. So maybe we do another one, or we complete it by Photoshop. But anyway, we should take more opportunities for you to know who is in your class, because it is important as a group in the next coming year and years for you to know people from your group. In 20 years from now, you will be head of labs, and you will remember who were in your class, and you may sign A&R requests with them, you may collaborate, You may send students to them, they might send students to you, and it will happen from people you know. It will not happen from people you don't know. So it is important for you to create a group. I don't know, maybe you already created a WhatsApp link where you can exchange info, but somebody who did it, send it to others. These are modern ways of getting in contact, and you have to think that it is important. So down this page, there's also the presentations that were done on the welcome day, the first one, where you had some indication of the doctoral schools that presented. So you can go to that link. It is a zip file, so you can get all the presentations in one download, and then you can sort through it which doctoral school concerns you. So today is a new part of that. So the tutora system was presented to all of you, and I don't know if it is clear or unclear, so we can go to the link that is provided here. So these are the people who are part of the tutora system, so Karine Eaglemeyer, Olivier Cassard, and Sylvie Malo, who is the administrative assistant. So there are a few tutorials how to use the new MyTP platform. Here, either it's a video in English or a text, a PDF in French. So either way, you will have the information as to how to create, or not create, but how to fill your profile on it. So the other parts of this is the timetable. So everyone, or almost all of you, came in September. Maybe one or two came in end of August for special situations, or because you arrived already in Paris, you were already in a lab, and then you signed up at the university in August. So you are in the 2022-2023 academic year. So it starts September 1 and ends August 31 of 2023. If you registered before that, make sure in your third year that you are not assigned to a fourth year group, because it requires special authorization from the president of the university to go in a fourth year in France. So although it seems nice that you fill in early in August, but next year, you will forget about it, and then in your third year, you will be assigned in the fourth year category. So you will meet some academic problem then. So make sure you follow that and keep track of that. All the other ones who arrived in September and October are in the academic year, and you have to fill in the MyTP platform. So everyone who arrived at Pasteur as a doctoral candidate gets an email from the platform that says, you will be assigned a tutor, please go and fill this space. So you start by filling in the personal info, like your contact info, email, phone numbers, lab name, and so on. And it says 100% in orange. That only means you have filled in the information, but you have not deposited it yet. So in that MyTP system, at the top, there is in French, sauvegarder and envoyer, and in English, save and send. So once it has reached 100%, you click on send. If you don't do that, it will stay 100% but orange. Once you click on send, the line will turn green. That is set that way because it allows you to correct. You can fill in as long as it is in the orange mode. You can go back and change things. You might have, by mistake, entered wrong doctoral school, or wrong finance, or wrong contact info, email, and so on. So you can still go back and change it. But once you click on submit, or send, or envoyer, it is set in the database. that will open a next block. I can go there and show it to you, which says academic data or academic information. And that one, you have to fill it as well. So it will ask you for your doctoral school, it will ask you for your thesis director, and the thesis director is only assigned when they have a doctoral student. Someone can have a PhD, can have a lab, but they may have never hosted a student ever. So they cannot be considered thesis directors. Only when they have a student do they become thesis directors. So we have to create that in the database. So we will request from you that you say, I don't see my PhD thesis director in the list. His or her name is this and this. And I will create that link. So in the list you will see them within a few minutes or one day. What I will ask you on top is that you ask your thesis director if they have passed their HDR, their habilitation à diriger les recherches. Because in France, in the past, people went into labs, the thesis directors did not have HDRs, and on the day of the defense, you couldn't defend your thesis. Because the university will refuse a head of thesis that doesn't have an HDR. So I ask it in the first year that you verify with your thesis director that he or she has their HDRs. So when you will say to me, I don't see my thesis director in the list, I will email back to you, ask him or her when and which university did they get their HDR from. Once you send that info to me, I will create the link. It is for you, it is for him, it is for your PhD. So we have to make sure in the first few months you have secured that. And he or she may not have that HDR in the first year. It's not a problem because they are new groups, they are G5s or labs. They have 1 year to do it until your second year. If they don't pass their HDR before your second year, we will have to switch thesis director. It's the university rule. Okay? So you can tell them, they can tell you, I am in the process of doing it. You ask, when are you doing it? You write it down. The day it happens, they don't do it, you ask them again. It is your responsibility a little bit. It is their job to do it, but it is your responsibility to make sure they have it. Because it'll impact your defense. So once these things are filled, one important line in that MyTutorA space is the provisional title of your thesis. It is not your final title of your thesis. As you do your research, it will evolve. But we need at least one line that says approximately what you are working on. We cannot guess that. And in that platform, you have to fill this in. And we have included on it, at the bottom of the page, keywords per department that we have compiled into a list. Virology, informatics, electron microscopy, whatever, DNA, genomics, whatever. Give us a few clues. You can put in 5 keywords about your topic, because that will help us assign you the proper tutor. The tutor knows a little bit about your field based on the thesis title and the keywords. He may not be an expert completely in your topic, but when you discuss with him or her, he knows what you are talking about. Okay? So make sure you fill those things, and then you click on send. And as soon as you click on send, there's a process that starts to assign you a tutor. To give you an idea, there are 300 students on campus. Every year, 80 students come in, and we will request from all the researchers at Pasteur, whether they are engineers, CR1, DR2, DR1, all the people who are in research position, to become your tutor. It is a request. It is a voluntary task. So the email goes out from the platform. Such a student is requesting to have you as tutor. The person can accept or can refuse. They can accept the same day or they can refuse in 3 weeks. Until they give an input to us, we wait. If it is too long, we will ask them again, did you have any problem responding? Were you away in a congress? Were you in a Pasteur Network Institute? Or whatever. If they don't respond within maybe 3 to 4 weeks, we will deconnect the request to them and find another person with the same keywords and title to find another person. So if they accept, it is instantly, we just say click, you're connected. You get an email that says, this is your tutor, his name, her name, contact info, email, and you have to contact them. If the person refuses, we won't let you know that they refuse. It's quite uncomfortable to say this person refused for whatever reason. It's not always because they don't like you. It is because they just don't have time. Maybe they are planning to go abroad for the next year, so they don't have time to see what you're doing. They will say, I cannot. And then we'll find another one. So it may take some time. So the time from September till maybe the first or second week of December, sometimes it'll take, to assign the 80 incoming student their tutor. So don't worry, it is ongoing. But remember to fill. If you don't click on send, we don't know you have filled your thesis title. Okay, you have to remember that. So the tutors are assigned to the first years, and by the middle of January, so September, October, November, December, January, you have been in your lab for 5 months. So you know the lab. You know the people around the lab. You know how you interact with your PI, your thesis director. If anything is odd or everything is fine, in your first year report on that same platform, you have to give us some feedback how you are living those first 5 months. Any conflict, any strange missing of follow-up by the director, he's never there. Or no one knows how to use equipment that is critical for your experiments. You have to give that first feedback here, early in your thesis. It's not when it's 1 year later, 3 years later, it's too late. Okay, so you have to give us this feedback. We look at it, so you write that. As soon as you write that report, remember to press send. As soon as you press send, it goes to your tutor. Automatically, the platform sends the report to your tutor. He reads it, you make an arrangement, you call, you email, we have to meet and discuss. Sometimes it's just to know who is the tutor, the first meeting. I'm working on this, I come from this university, my lab works on this topic, my project will be such and such. Remember, the tutor role at Pasteur is not scientific. He is not going to be your second thesis director. He's not going to say, make this control, do this experiment, try this, try that. He may, but he is not your thesis director. He's there to listen to anything that may come up, problems, even good things, like I am going to a congress, I was selected to be in this audience, or in that project, or I am publishing a paper next week, next month. It is good to give feedback so we know how things are going. But if problems happen, he is the first contact person. If things happen that is not linked to your thesis directly, the thesis director or the lab, but other things around it, your finance is running out. Somebody is harassing you, not in the lab, but around whatever you are interacting with. First person to go to is your thesis director. Second person is your tutor. In that sequence. If the problem is with the thesis director, it is the tutor. Okay? It's a go-to person. And then that will notify the tutorat and we will deal with it. So there's an annual meeting, so this is until January first year. And then let me go back to the graduate office one. I'll give you now a perspective of the 3 next years. Yeah. So then, every year from then, you will have your tutor meeting around that time. And the report from the tutor and you have to be in by the end of January. Every year. First year, second year, and beginning of third year. We need to know where you are at, because that gives us an indication of the progress of your thesis. In parallel to this line, so you see it's year end. I'm writing the academic year here, so it's September to the academic year again around September, so September to September. And then there's the tutorat meeting that has to be done and the report deposited. So you have 3 reports to enter, first year, the second year, and beginning of the third year. You will find that along with this tutorat report, you will have to deposit for your university 3 CSI reports, Comité de Suivi Individuel, on your ADUM or portfolio, or depending on which university you are at, Paris-Saclay, Université Paris-Cité, Sorbonne University, they all have a different student portal. You have to enter your annual student report there also. That report differs from this tutorat report because it is a scientific report. You have to put in your results. You have to put in things that are not going well, experimentally. Things that you plan for the next year, experimentally. Publications, and so on and so forth. So you have an informal follow-up, the tutorat, which is important, and you have your academic follow-up on the CSI. Both are required for you to complete your PhD. So are there questions about this procedure from September to September? What are we, do you have any questions about what you file on your initial portal?
Because the portal asks for the thesis advisor committee, but for a file for that,
Yeah.
and if it is not defined yet, or if it is in the process.
So the first year you don't have that yet, but as soon as you finish, so the CSI from the university is due for BioSPC by June 30 of each year. Not January like the tutorat report, but in June. And all this information is in that little button set here, where it says BioSPC. When exactly is the deadline? And I will remind you in January that you have 3 to 4 months to set your CSI and do it. Don't wait for June 25 to start doing things. You want to do it around May or April. So you have remember two reports. Tutorat report, informal, but important, and your scientific report, the CSI. 3 times, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I think I spent more time than I thought, or maybe not. No, right on time. So anyone, if you have questions, don't worry, we will have more time to discuss. It's a bit, maybe some information, but I didn't want you to have that same information on the first day because we don't have time to discuss, you are all coming in and so on and so forth. But now you know you are in, okay? And you have to now start getting familiar with this procedure. Any question about the tutors?
When we will receive our tutor name?
The tutor name will be assigned as soon as the tutor we found says yes. As soon as he says yes, you will get an email that says, this is your tutor. So it's an automatic email from that MyTP platform that informs you who is the tutor. And we are doing it as soon as we can, and sometimes it will go until the first weeks of December. But we will try to do it as fast as we can. There's no mechanical or IA, intelligence artificielle working on it. It's people. And we look for conflict of interest that they have not published, or they are not friends of your thesis director. They have not written a grant within the last 5 years with him. They are not in the same department. Because when things go bad, they cannot be friends. Right? They have to be independent people that make decisions. So it takes time. But you will have it, and you will see that from your doctoral school, they will say, do you have your tutor yet? So don't worry, they have a deadline, and we will get your tutor to you by that time. Okay, so the next important aspect of being at Pasteur and anywhere during a 3-year program is how you're doing mentally. Not physically, but mentally. You all are the group of people from the master's program who have gone through 2 years of confinement or approximation of confinement. It's not easy to go back to active activity en présentiel. This is not saying that everybody is crazy, but we understand pressure. We have all done theses, we know what it is. We understand isolation. We understand not having friends because you're coming from a different city or country. Coming from province is as bad as coming from Uruguay. You don't know anyone. So we understand that. We understand financial pressure. We know that rent in Paris is quite high. And on your PhD stipend, maybe it's not enough. So you have more pressure. We know results may not work or come the time you expect it to come. We know your boss can be saying on Friday, I'll see the results on Monday. What does that mean? It means you have to work Saturday and Sunday? Pressure. Do you have time to go see a theater? Do you have time to do sports? We understand that. And we understand this repetitively over 3 years. So as young people, you may take it for a month or two, but over 3 years, maybe not. So Catherine from the health department is here to help. The health department is here to help. The departmental reps, as I said before, are also here to help. So, Catherine, please.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm really pleased to meet you all. It's great to be in front of 80 young brains. So welcome to Pasteur, and well done for getting here. I know it's a hard slog. So first of all, before I go on, is speaking English okay with everybody? Yeah? And the other thing is has anybody worked before in industry before coming here? Yeah? A few hands? Okay. Okay. So when I say occupational health, does that ring a bell? That's a health department which is specifically for people who are at work, and it's making sure that everything's okay in terms of if you're having an accident or if you're having problems, as Deshmukh said, things are not always as rosy as you hoped they would be. you can get demotivated, you can get stressed, whatever. Then that's where we show up. So the occupational health department here at Pasteur is right above the canteen, so it's very easy to identify and get to. There are 2 main work doctors and 1 intern who's there, 6 months a year. There are 4 nurses, so if you burn yourself, or if you faint on the way to work, or if you have palpitations or whatever, fall off your bike, then you can go there and they'll wrap you up. There's an ergonomist, and that's somebody who will, if maybe you've got a handicap or something, or you need to sort of know if you're having a move, because labs here close and move a lot, then they can decide what kind of space you'll be needing, and how many people could maybe be affected to the same job. And then there's me. I'm an occupational health psychologist, and I'm not sure if many of you know what that is. Has anybody seen Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson? Yeah, a few hands, okay. A loony bin. Okay, well, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not the person who's going to tie you up in a straitjacket. Has anybody seen any of Woody Allen's films? Yeah? Okay, so Woody Allen goes on a lot about all his personal problems and so on. And you might see him in some of his films lying on a divan, talking to somebody behind his back. Okay, well, I'm not a psychoanalyst. I'm not going to go and talk to you about your childhood, about your relationship to your parents, how everything's going with your family. Okay, right, that's not me. And then there's other kinds of psychologists, clinical psychologists, and then there's behavioral therapists. If you're having a phobia with snakes, or taking the airplane to go to a congress or whatever, then you might want to go and see a behavioral therapist who will see you for a certain number of sessions to try and get over that stress, to get over that phobia. That's the kind. I don't do that. Okay, so that's all the things I don't do. And so what do I do? I was trained as a clinical work psychologist at the Conservatoire National des Arts et Métiers here in Paris. And our approach is to help people understand their relationship to work and to understand work situations. So De Schmuck was talking about when things go bad. Things won't necessarily go bad, but sometimes they do. And when things do go bad, whether it's conflict with your colleagues or conflict with your boss, not being able to get hold of your director, getting demotivated and so on, then you can come to me and we can talk about that. And we can try and understand what exactly in the situation is going wrong. Because sometimes people will come to see me and they're all really unhappy and they'll say, oh, it's all my fault. Well, not necessarily. And in most situations, it's not your fault, okay? It's really what's going on around you. And you here are in a particularly fragile position because you're students and yet at the same time you're employees. So you've got this kind of hybrid position and, okay, how much can I take? Okay, when am I a student and when am I an employee? And sometimes that rubs. And then the fact that you're still students, you maybe don't have the reflexes that some people maybe who've worked in industry already have, of being careful who you talk to, how you talk to them, getting support from colleagues when you need to have a bit of support, when things are not going so well, when your experiments are not working out and you could do with a little extra help. And that's where the networking and support that De Smet was talking about really helps. Being part of a team is really a good resource to help you through difficult moments. So that's what we can talk about. Obviously, if you come to me and you say, my dad's died, I've got financial problems, I've broken up with my boyfriend, and so on and so forth, of course, I will take that into account, because when you come to work, you're not just a worker. You're also a mother, a father, a daughter, looking after an aged parent or a friend, whatever. So we're going to look at that as well, but that won't be the main focus. Okay. So when can you come and see me? Just one thing is that you'll see on the web campus, whatever, that we're related to human resources. That's necessary because we're an occupational health service which is within the company, because this is a large company, 2,700 employees. So there's a legal obligation to have an internal health service. However, we consider ourselves to be completely autonomous, although dialogue will be maintained, and everything that comes to us remains totally confidential. Okay, so you have absolutely no worries to have when you come to me that anything will go back to your boss or to your HR proxy or whatever. Okay, so that's absolutely, I want to make that absolutely clear. So, what situations can you come to? Can you come to me for? Stress, overwork, because you're working weekends, you're working holidays, or you're working 12 hours a day instead of 7. Isolation, because you don't maybe know many people yet here. Conflicts with your team or your boss. Realizing that maybe something in your lab, there's a division. There's some people who are with the boss and some people who are against, and not really understanding why that's happening. Maybe uncertainty about the future, about what you're going to do once you have your PhD. Right? And that is something that right now is not very present, but it will get closer when the 3 years run out. Yeah? And so there's a service here called the Mask, a service to kind of help you think about your future. And I can help along with that, okay, as well. So if you do need help, you can contact me, Catherine Portsmouth. I'm an English native speaker, and I was brought up in France, so I speak both languages. And I will be here until the end of January, because I'm replacing Irène Cotin, who is on maternity leave. So you can contact me directly by phone or by email, or you can contact our assistant, Sandrine Ropax, who is, will make the appointment for you. So if you have a crisis or whatever, you can show up at occupational health. A nurse will take care of you. If you're having a crying fit or whatever, just show up, and we'll listen to you, basically. Okay. So whether you go and see the doctor, whether you go and see a nurse, or whether you make an appointment with me directly, everything goes. Okay? I think I've pretty much covered it. Yeah? Okay, thank you. And if you have any questions, just come and ask me. Yeah, I'll hang around for a bit.
Okay, thank you very much, Catherine. So, yeah, there are people here to listen and help. That's the message. To go further down the list of help that you can have is also about your experiments. You are in a lab, they know some technology, they know some methods, they know some protocols, they have been addressing the topic for years, and yet you are a PhD coming in. This is the next 3 years of discovery. What you may need are new tools, tools that your lab may have or may not have. So you may want to learn new tools also, so that when you are done with your PhD, you know some techniques, but you know more things than just techniques. You know approaches, you know how to discuss with other people in different technology areas. And at Pasteur, on the whole Parisian area, without being too open about it, we have many platforms that the other universities don't have. And we are proud of it, but we also want it to be used. Being proud about the platform is one thing, using the platform is even better. And to do that, you need not to be afraid. You need to look at the experiment, discuss it, read newspaper articles or journal articles about it, and you need to get in touch with real people that can help you. So today we have Sami Goba from the Microfluidics and Biomaterials platform, and he will give you an introduction to what the platforms do.
Just won't spoil the entire presentation.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't load it correctly.
Yeah, hello everyone. So I'm Sami Goba. I'm currently head of the Biomaterials and Microfluidics core facility at Pasteur here. So first I need to start by congratulating you. You landed a PhD position in one of the biggest institutions, biomedical institutions, so you deserve all the congratulations that I can give you. The party is over, everything. Now, if you want to think a bit about what you are doing and what you will be doing for the next 2.5 years left, then there is a strong probability that during your time here at Pasteur, you will be working with a given core facility. I'm not here to speak about my specific core facility. If you have a question about it, I can address it anytime. You can come to my office, no problem. But just to give you an overlook on the entire facilities ecosystem that we have here at Pasteur. Okay, let's start by addressing the obvious. You are all aware of what is a core facility. Okay. Core facility in French would be a translation? Platform technologique. So these two terms could be equivalent here at Pasteur. A core facility is an entity here at Pasteur that is essentially support. By support I mean that is not research based. So the only and unique objective of the core facility is to help you guys do your own experiment. And for that we have a variety of topics, we have a variety of methods, and there is not really like a standard recipe that is applied to all. Every facility has different themes, different ways of interacting with the users, that is you, for the topic that you would be contacting them for. Okay. So now you have finished the brainstorming phase about your PhD. You have a clear vision of the question that you want to ask, the biology that you want to do, and it boils down to the means and how to do it and how to perform it and what tools. And so probably you can tell me about your favorite way or your favorite tool set that you want to collect in order to answer to the biological question that you have. And for that, the most obvious one is if you need a method, you could invent it. There is no problem with that. The simplest thing is to ask your supervisor or colleague whether they know about that method already, or if a method already exists somewhere, and maybe he can point you to a given paper. So the literature is also a very good source for methods. My favorite source is essentially the coffee machine. You'll learn a lot there. So just by asking the people in your department and so on, and in the different clubs that you have at Pasteur. But the objective here is for you is to put on the map the core facilities. And core facilities are there as not the essential source, but one of the sources in which you can get information about methodology. Okay? There you will find access to innovative technology, you will find training. People will train you on their technology. They will provide you with protocols, and of course they will dedicate personnel to help you with that. And the bonus fact is that sometimes core facilities also have funding for specific projects, so do not hesitate to speak about that with the people at the core facilities. Okay, how is this organized at Pasteur? Do you know how many core facilities we have at Pasteur approximately? Any rough estimation we do? 5? I heard 5 in the room.
10.
20.
30.
And the answer is 30, yeah. So we have 30 core facilities. So the 5, I understand 5. 5 is what? Is microscopy, FACS, proteomics, of course. They are there. But this is one thing. And around these large or fundamental or essential, I don't know how you want to call them, core facilities, there is a plenty of different facilities that would address a specific topic. So the corollary there is that if you don't use any core facility during your PhD, you are definitely leaving resources on the table. There is no way that someone can go for 3 years of PhD here at Pasteur without one time having or addressing a question to a core facility. This is highly improbable. So the core facilities that are existing, they range from animal facility, data management, humanized mice, like assay development for high throughput screening, you name it. There is definitely something that you would be interested in. So really, before you start any kind of experiment, try to understand the map. Try to understand who does what on campus in terms of technology development. To help you get this map, the core facilities are headed by one direction that is specific to the core facility. It's called the Direction of Technology here at Pasteur. The Director of Technology is Michael Nilges. He's a structural biologist and he's heading the entire 30 facilities. If you have a single problem and you want to go to the upper person to discuss with him, or you have ideas about new core facilities, that's the person that you need to talk to. However, you can understand that interfacing with 30 like managers of facilities is kind of tedious, so they have, let's say, bin the facilities into 3 large structures. You have C2RT, that is probably the largest bin, that is all about technology, microscopy, microfluidics, electron microscopy, all the standard ones are in there. You have all the animal facility in the C2RA, A is for animal resources. And you have a new one that is IT resources, C2RI. Okay? And this is of course organized in Russian dolls, so within every center you have 2 types of core facility. The large one that are called UTEX, and these are unit of technology and service and technology. These core facilities are having dual mission. They provide services and they also pursue their own research. And you have more core facilities that are like just standard facilities that are on a smaller scale within these centers. Okay, these numbers are not up to date. I have to increase them because every year we have more facilities. Okay, so for continuing for this, I don't have the time to address everything. I'll be focusing on the C2RT, the largest one. And what I wanted to say is here is the list of all the facilities we have. You will find this information on the internet. You go on the research, Pasteur research, you'll find all this, the 3 centers and all the list of facilities, just for you to know. Oh, it's dead. Okay. We regrouped the core facilities in four bins here that you can see here. There is everything about the omics, the proteomics, the metabolomics, and the single cell. So these are the facilities there. We have the imaging facilities that is about electron microscopy, photonic imaging, cryomicroscopy, everything you have it here. You have, let's say, the advanced cellular assays that are about screening, biomaterials, and diagnostics are in this bin here. And you have everything about biophysics and recombinant proteins in here. So remember, this is just about technology. You have all the animal resources and the IT resources in different centers. Okay, this is all very good, and you are probably at this point a bit overwhelmed about all the things you can do here. I'll just wanted to give you before I finish. This like this. Yeah. An overview about how do these facilities work. Here on this axis here, I'm representing the different, every element here is a different core facility. And what I wanted to say is that all these core facilities, they work in project mode. So you have to be prepared to be asked, what is your project when you go speak with a facility. You need to be able to say in a paragraph what you are going to do, what you are expecting, what's the objective, and how can the facility help you in there. There is also facilities that are testing some new services or that they are recent. So you could expect there, because it's still experimental from a quality, but most of the core facilities that provide a service and your team will be charged for the time you spend in the facility. And this is normal, and it's expected on both sides. Your boss is expecting to be charged, and the facility knows how to handle that. So it's not about your PhD or specific to your project. Everybody, this is standard practice. So some core facility will give you directly access to the technology bricks, to the machine, and they will ask you to perform your experiment while using their machine. And other will do it for you. This is also a dividing line between core facilities. And within the same facility, there are some services that are accessible by anyone, after training, of course, or there are facilities where the access is restricted to only the members of the facility. And finally, there are some facilities that will train you to autonomy, and then when they train you, they don't have a lot of input, scientific input in what you are doing. You are the boss there. You're just using the tools or the technology. There is an intermediate proof of concept type of strategy in several core facilities where they will a little bit help you, a little bit put some engineer time on your project and train you as well till you basically rack up the experience that is necessary to be independent. And at the end, core facility also in a minority of project, the flagship project can enter in a form of collaboration with your group. And then they will help you a little bit in a more involved way. With all that, I think I'm finished. If you need more information, you can find this map here on our website. It's locating all the core facilities on the campus. If you want to know more about the facilities and so on, you can read the guidelines, and this is also very interesting for you to understand a little bit more what is possible to do here in Pasteur. So with that, I'll take any question you might have, or you can. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If you have questions that you don't want to speak now, you can come to François Jacob, building number 27 in the back, and second floor. Thank you very much. Thank you. Merci. So yeah. It's one of the things that was said by Sami is that you cannot leave Pasteur with only the skills of pipetting. Okay, remember that. It's easy in biology. My best skill is pipetting. but you can't. There's a 10 million euro electron titan microscope on campus. It's one of the 5 core facilities in Europe. So you want to look at your cells, you want to look at molecules, prepare yourself for that, rather than just learning how to pipette and a petri dish. Okay, so the next presentation will be by by the Center for Information Resources, by Claire Dugast. As Sami mentioned, that you can imagine things, but you can also read about things. The people who provide you the facilities to have access to information are here. So it's Sandrine Royer, Fanny Selbir, and Claire Dugast. So they will present you the series.
Hello everyone, I'm very happy to be here to welcome you today. My name is Claire and I'm here with Sandrine and Fanny. We're all librarians at the CERIS library. The CERIS stands for Scientific Information Resources Center. It's located, as you can see it, more or less, on the image. It's located on the 2nd floor of the CIS building, and it's dedicated to information-related services. It's divided into 3 divisions: the archives, the picture library, and that we also call the photothèque, and the library. So the archives, what do they do? They collect, organize, and preserve the documents that are produced by the Institut Pasteur and that have a legal value of evidence, or that have a long-term scientific or historical value. You may access some of the records kept by the archives upon appointment, but you also may get advice and assistance related to the documents that you will produce at the Institut Pasteur in your unit, and that these documents could be the property of the Institut Pasteur. It's a case, for instance, of the lab notebook. The picture library is picture databases gathering thousands of very beautiful images, illustrating the history of the Institut Pasteur, but also its current scientific and social life. You may freely access these images and use them to illustrate your reports, presentation, your courses. You may also submit some of the images you might take during your experiments. The photothèque is available to the outside of the Institute, so it gives a real visibility to the research being made at the Institut Pasteur. And about the library is a platform of expertise in the service of your research. Concretely, it means that we work at constantly developing new tools and services that could help you access, manage, and analyze scientific information. It also means that we work at providing you practical training courses and customized assistance in all these topics. We won't go into details with all the services that the library has to offer, but Sandrine will give you an overview on how to access scientific literature and how to manage your bibliographic references. And with Fanny, we will give you an idea on how the CERIS library is involved in open access and research data issues. So I'm Sandrine, and I will present you how to explore and access all the documents you need, and also how to manage your bibliographic references. First of all, how to explore and access all the documents you need. You can use several tools from the series. The first one that might be useful for you is our discovery tool. This tool, you can find it at the top left of the Web Campus page, of our Web Campus page. If you go on Web Campus, you just click on Vie Scientifique, Series X Médiathèque, click on Bibliothèque, and you will see this image. So at the top left of this page, you will find the box, access all our resources, and it will allow you to search both our catalog of journals and books, of course journals online and paper, also for the books, but also other databases allowing you to find references in your research fields. We also have two other tools that could be very useful for you, the link resolver and the click and read. Both of them allows you to access the full text of articles more efficiently. You will find their icon, as you can see at the bottom of the page, on all the main databases that you can access from the campus, of course PubMed, but you have to use this link on this page to see the last this icon. And you can find them also, of course, in Google Scholar, Web of Science, Scopus, all the publishers' websites, etc. And when you click on it, it will guide you directly to the HTML version of the article if we have a subscription or if it's free, or if not, on our other pages. And from these pages, with 2 clicks, you can directly order the document, and the series will take all the amount of the order for the service, but not for you. It will be free for you, and you will be able to read your documents generally into 2, maybe 3 days after the order. Click and read is almost the same thing, but it's a browser extension that you can install in your browser, and this extension will directly put you on the PDF version of the article if it's freely available, and if it's not, it will switch automatically to our link resolver and again the HTML version or the other pages. If you want more information and discover how to install the Click and Read, you can click on this thing here and you will discover our webpage about it. Now, how to manage your bibliographic references. Several software exists and may be used at the Institut Pasteur. We offer trainings for 4 of them, EndNote, Zotero, SciWheel, and Mendeley. You can see the next session in English for each of them. SciWheel and Mendeley are on demand. You just send an email to bibliothèque at pasteur.fr and we will find a date for you. In addition, to help you to find the software that suits you best, we organize twice a year the workshop Benchmark of Bibliographic Tools.
The next session will take place on the 25th of November from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And during this workshop, you can log in at any time between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. to ask your questions and request demonstrations. You will find all our trainings and their calendar on our Web Campus training page on the right, here. And just before passing the floor to Claire, I would like to talk about this subscription. It's the Meta News. It's a newspaper title in French about French research. So we subscribe to this newsletter, so you can ask to receive all their newsletters 3 times a week in your mailbox, or you can just go and read their articles directly on their website. So don't hesitate to use this resource. It's quite interesting. Thank you.
So now we wanted to talk to you a little bit about the open access movement. I don't know if you're familiar with this movement. It's existed since 2002, so 20 years now, and it was based on the observation that the traditional model of scientific publication is both scientifically doubtful and economically unfair. And talks about economics. Very few words. The price increase of journal electronic resources and journal subscriptions is absolutely enormous. I mean, in the past years, it has increased enormously, but also in an unjustified way. Just to give you an idea, the CERIS library pays every year around €1 million just for the electronic resources, to give you access to the electronic resources. So since 2002, there is, after what is called now the Budapest Initiative, there has been this movement, international movement, to make academic literature and academic knowledge a common good to humanity. The idea is that academic literature should be available online to anyone, to be used and reused for free. Another step in this movement was in 2018. Since the open access movement progress was considered as too slow, organizations and institutions funding research decided together and decided to work together to make immediate open access a reality. So that's why actually now, in many cases, when you publish an article, depending on your funder, and a lot of funders working with the Institut Pasteur are concerned, so when you publish an article, you might be expected to publish it open access, so it's very, very important. There are 2 ways to publish open access. What we call gold open access and green open access. The first one is to decide to publish in a native open access journal. The other one is when you publish in any journal, I mean the journal you want, but at the same time you publish your accepted manuscript in an institutional repository, an open access repository. These 2 ways can be combined. You can use both. In the Institut Pasteur, it's also very important, this movement. The library has been committed to the open access movement for almost 15 years now, and in the current strategic plan, the open access is supported by the Institut Pasteur in order to promote creativity and openness to society. Several decisions have been taken. Last year, a charter was published by the Institut Pasteur in order to commit to the open access to publications. and some incentive measures have been taken. So now any scientist being assessed at the Institut Pasteur has to self-archive their publications in the institution repository. So at the Institut Pasteur, we have Alpasteur, which is actually a platform based on the national archive. Don't worry, it's a lot of compulsory requirements. Don't worry, there is a dedicated team at the library that helps you, that provides trainings, that provide also frequent Q&A sessions online. They also provide practical guides that are available from Web Campus, and they also provide a very quick and efficient assistance by email. Something else I wanted to say about, the last thing, 86%. This figure is actually, there's every year the French Open Science Monitor that measures how, for each institutions, the level of open access, and at the Institut Pasteur, 86% of the articles that were published in 2020 were open access in 2021. So it's far above the national average, which is 64%, something like that. And we really hope that very soon it will be 100%.
So, if you're interested in open access, you will find relevant information in the Open Science blog of the Institut Pasteur that is published by the series. The blog is in French, and we have three main topics: open access, data management, data and software management and sharing, and research planning and assessment. So feel free to subscribe to the bi-monthly newsletter if it's not already done. And if you prefer Twitter, we have a Twitter account on which we relay the information that is published on the blog. So I didn't say that I'm Fanny, and my main activities are about data management and sharing. So maybe you know that there are new requirements about data management and sharing from funders, publishers, institutions, and it's the case for the Institut Pasteur. I will show you the Institut Pasteur's policy in the next slide. And these requirements are mainly about three topics. First, researchers are required to drop a data management plan at the beginning of their research. So it's a document in which you plan and anticipate the data management practices, activities that you will do during your research, which data you will collect or generate, how you will process it, analyze it, store it, describe it, will you share it or not, and so on. So it's a useful document to try to implement the best data management practices. Then another requirement is to share your data as open as possible, as closed as necessary. So that means that your final data should be open by default, but if you have a good justification, you can keep it closed. So a good justification is if you want to fill a patent, for instance, or if you have a contract with an industrial that states that you cannot share the data, for instance. And the last requirement is to deposit your data in a data repository. It's an online database on which you deposit the data with a detailed description so that another scientist can find it, understand it, and reuse it. So to help you on these three topics, we provide training sessions. First on how to drop a data management plan for a research project, and the other one on data repositories. So you have the date, so feel free to register. And we also provide individual support, so do not hesitate to contact us if you have questions. For instance, on how to use the Institut Pasteur's DMP template, or which repository to choose to share the data associated to your publication. And any other question, if we don't have the answer, we will tell you who to contact. So you have the email address, you can directly contact me or we'll have an alias. And finally, I told you that there is an Institut Pasteur's policy on data management, and it's more than requirements. It's also guidelines to help you implement the best data management practices. You can see here it's a diagram. It's a summary of the policy. The policy is organized following the data management lifecycle. First, you plan data management, then you reuse and create data. You use, store data, publish it, preserve it, and you have a specific part about software scripts and programs at the end. So each point in this diagram corresponds to a fact sheet that is associated to the policy, giving you best practices, the tools that are available at the Institut Pasteur, the training, the contacts. So if you have questions, the idea is not to read everything, but if you have questions, you can look at this. You have the link to the Web Campus page of the policy with this diagram and see if you find the information you need. And if you don't, just contact us and we will try to add the information in the fact sheet. And that's all for me. Thank you for your attention. Do you have any question?
So thank you, Fanny, Sandrine, and Claire. So as you can see, you are stepping into your PhD, and the PhD is directly linked to publications. You're not stepping in your PhD for doing small experiments. You need to get your results out, and it has been found that results are not accessible, and that's what this is all about. So don't hesitate to go to the training sessions. I will put it in some newsletter every month. What are the new training sessions for all this? Okay, so the next presentation. Startup awareness.
Welcome to Pasteur again. Everybody very happy to meet you, and then it's a great pleasure to introduce you our Startup Awareness Office. So I'm Jong-un In, and I'm responsible for Startup Awareness Office. Our office is under the education department. So the meaning is our mission is more like training and also support all the activity of startup creation or like any innovation project. Sorry for problem. Okay. Institut Pasteur has four missions. Probably you know or you don't know. We have research, education, and public health and innovation. These four missions are linked, as you see in the diagram, in the view of innovation. So entrepreneurship is essential to create value and to carry out the mission these missions of Institute Pasteur. The Startup Awareness Office will boost the transformation of research into innovation, and it will aim to make Pasteurians friendly. So you will friendly the learn about innovation process and innovation ecosystem by providing entrepreneurship trainings and guiding to create the startups. So it's a lot of things to learn, and then it's a transferable skills for early career researcher as you, like the PhD student, should learn. They define what kind of skills they should learn. So as you see, blue part is left, they needed to learn like a lot of things from the research, teaching, and supervision and digital skills. And then the other, as you see here, the green part is a kind of a career development part you need to learn. For our institute, there are MASC, the Career Center, and HR. Human Resources also provide a lot of training for the soft skills. And also our Startup Awareness Office, we call the SWAP, we also provide training, and in this training you will get interpersonal skills and entrepreneurship skills. So our SWAP office offer training on awareness of innovation and entrepreneurship in life science and health, and also we cannot hear.
If you speak directly in it, you can hear. If you speak next to it, you can't.
Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Also, we support to transform your scientific idea into the business, and also connect it to innovation ecosystem. So, I think that you think and I come here for the science, and then why she speak about already come out and then business and startup creation. But in fact, it's not so much far away, and then it's not your way, on the way. You need to learn a lot, even you are becoming scientist, and or you find another way around your scientific skills transform in other part. So in our training, and then we try to help you to motivate your idea and project. And then also we do this one, we provide the training. And also if you need any existing innovation ecosystem, we will connect. And then also the other creative training and event we also give. So if you are actively also participate in this part, and at the end of your PhD, you will find you can become also the other, like the broad career path you will find opportunity. Not only scientist, you will be also the innovative scientist. Also, you can find a lot of opportunity job in the governmental agent related to science. And also, if you create a startup or working as a team of members, create together the startup, you will be entrepreneurs. And then you can also opportunity to work in the company or non-profit organization. So our training program is based on the, very important you think, and you can, when you think about startup, you always think idea. But this idea, how you transform to the business is very important process. This one is the innovation. So we try to putting a lot of effort and create a program for you learn how to your idea transform the business part. During this time, you will learn a lot of skills for the entrepreneur. So we have already started me up like 2 days training session. Sorry. Half day is expert talk, and half day is practice session. And so we are going to add one pilot project program. We call the value of your idea. I will add it later. And all this program at the end, if your project is from the pastor, you can create your startup with our tech transfer office DALI. And also whole year, academic year, like from the September to June, we have a seminar. Every month a seminar we call Startup Breakfast. And also we have a master program with the ESCP Business School. So, this is our Startup Breakfast that it's a seminar. Every month we invite entrepreneur or innovation ecosystem actors. So there are yearly program. You can come to our website. You can check. You can come and 1 hour actually love the presentation and deep discussion and 30-minute network. So also this one is a small size, small group. That's why you can discuss deeply. Any question you can ask. Not very difficult to ask some question because a lot of people you can discuss. So also the opportunity you meet other PhD or postdoc, other scientists on the campus. So I hope you join. Upcoming Startup Breakfast session is this Thursday. And you will learn different than the science maybe. This person is a really business-oriented guy, and he is dealing with a lot of business. And then you come and then you taste it. So I just actually I will later again. Also starting me out is 2 days of training for startup creation, as I mentioned you. Like half day is expert talk, half day is practice session. So practice session, usually we select a project, 4 or 5, and if you don't have a project idea, it's okay, you can join the team. And then during this time, from the scientific project, we transform the business. At the end of the session, you will present in front of a real jury. Actually, this also save your date, June 8 to 9 is the start me up. And we, at the end of program, we provide attendance certificate. You can use this one, you can give it to your doctoral school, and then ask credit. So you can get the credit that is a professional the program you participate in. So you can get this one, and then you can also participate. If you have a project and don't worry, you can participate and you can learn. And so this one is a value on your idea. It's a new program because starting here, as I told you, this practice session, 2 days afternoon, you work with the project. But actually 3 hours each day, so the 6 hours, it's not enough, and then we already defined the project after making slide, pitching in front of jury. It was too short. But our past student and postdoc is very smart. Sometimes jury, they think that that's really real project, but the project was not really mature, really come out from the science, just come out. So, but after we found it difficult to continue because it was a very short time. You meet the team and then you finish your very quickly sliding and then pitching. That's why we think and then it's good to making a little bit longer period. You develop the project and as a like kind of a club way you come. It will be 3 months, 3 hours per atelier. So the meaning is 3 hours per week, 3 months. At the end, you come to the start me up and you finish up the project and in front of jury, you will present. that time its project is much more mature, so we can even ask if we have enough project. We can also select pitch, best pitch, because previous time it was not enough the maturation or project, so we could not really select the best pitch. But I think this way also you can you learn more deeply all the skills better way. And this one also the same time I can give you your time as your attendance certificate. You can also give it to your doctoral program. You ask them to get in credit. So I give you this paper. There are registration, free registration. If you are interested, you can register and we can decide together like the most good time for everybody. We can start together. Maybe you can turn around this sign up. Yeah, this one is actually our tech transfer office. They try to make they are going to give you next year program from the innovation to tech transfer. You can learn how to deal with the pattern. So I think I will try to the pilot program, value of idea, and connect it with this one, and then we'll see how we can arrange it. And also, the last one, okay, if you are swab activity continuously participate, what happened? So this one is it's a pandemic moment. Actually, our office created it in the pandemic moment, 2020. So we are online, almost online, and this year we start to offline again. So, but even that moment, we have a good result. So we have like 2020, first time the person who participate started me up, and then he also created startup. Now, finally, he created after 2001, but started the project, and then he finally created it this year, made it inside. And then Emily Lovely, and she also our former PhD student, and she continuously the startup request to participate, and then 2020 he participated starting me up, and she selected to the talent program entrepreneur first year. So this one is an investor like company, but they don't invest project. They invest only the talent person. So she selected it, and then she finally created startup last 1 month ago. I met her. She's now very active, happy to learning her startup. Also the Chiara Piazzolo, she's a PPU student. She's a very active person. She also participated, and she's giving to the HOSIOSIS this month. And she's also selected one of 42 participants to the MOOC Innovation Cup out of the 3,580 applications, so top 1%. And then she's now actively working this part, and then PhD. She manages both of them. And the other guy, and then 2021, Christophe, he is the master student intern. He has actually intern our institute, and then after he graduate, he has a little bit trouble to find a job. And then he come back again our institute to intern a little more. And the moment he participated, and then he has an idea with his friends create a startup. So the moment he participated our starting me up and try to transform, and then understand how it works, transform his project into the business. And then after a few months, 1 month into the last, and then he gave me the good news. the job in the backup. I don't know that's related or not, but we just tried it. So anyway, also the 2022, this year, we have two person, the Maxime Mysteria and also the music. Both of them, they were project leader, they had a project. And then after they selected in this entrepreneur first, the talent project, and then also music also. So anyway, I don't say they are all benefit fully from the start me of start of the process, but you come here and then you learn what is the opportunity exist, and then after you will get the more opportunity you can get, and then the chance you will have. That's it. And then thank you, and then you have anything issue you wanna ask, and then you can come to me. Also, you can visit our Startup Awareness office website. Thank you.
Thank you, Yamui. Part of the other training opportunities that you can have at Pasteur is digital education. So we have the Clémentine Shield that will present to you the MOOC that are available at Pasteur.
While he's starting, who in the audience already followed an online courses? No. Okay, so some of you, I was not really, I wasn't sure if I could count, but thank you and welcome. I'm responsible for digital education. And at Institut Pasteur, we have a lot of online courses. And also, we have an online diploma for infectious disease. That's what I want to present to you today. So, the massive open online courses, the MOOC, they are free of charge. They are about, for all our courses, there are about 3,000 learners who follow the MOOC around the world. The MOOC from Institut Pasteur are in English with French title, and they are broadcasted for 2 months with a community manager, and you could actually be a community manager for this MOOC, so it's an opportunity to earn more money also. And you can follow the MOOC at your own pace. And furthermore, there is a certification for the course, and this one is not free, but for you it's free, because you can enroll in this diploma and do it for free. So what are the topics of the Institut Pasteur MOOCs that are available? Here they are. So I won't cite all of them, just I give you a little bit of time if you are interested in HIV science, malaria, resistance to antibacterial agents, tuberculosis. So please look at our website, and if you have your smartphone, you can even try to look right now, but if it's working,
they will get
yeah,
the presentation.
just to be more active right now if you want to. Also for this MOOC on infectious disease, then you have the possibility to enroll for the online diploma. And as I told you, it would cost €750 for anyone, but not for you. Because for you it's free. You will do it in a room with Deshmook for free. And there are other topics for our MOOC like epigenetics, human population and evolution and genetics, stem cell biology, microbes and brain, and from neuron to behavior. But for those ones, there is not the possibility to get the certification. So an online course for Institut Pasteur is about 30 videos from experts in the world, Then you have quizzes in French or in English. You have a forum with the community manager, the webinar, and the exam. And as I told you, you can participate as a participant, but also at the end of your PhD, for example, you can participate as a community manager because you can work with your, for example, with the director of the MOOC to manage this community of learners. And they are broadcasted on France Université Numérique, that's French Coursera, I would say. So how to enroll for the online diploma? First you need to register on this platform. So here is the QR code. Then you need to attend 5 MOOCs within 2 years. So now we are more 2 to 3 years, we say. And so to take you will take the exam. So it will be online, not online exam for you. It will be an online on-site. And you will have 30 multiple choice questions to answer within 1 hour without any material or computer or mobile phone for sure. And then you can get your online diploma. So this is when the different MOOCs are planned. So it's I give you a little bit of time to look at it, but otherwise it's on our website. So right now, as you can see, we have rabies, and we'll have a resistance to antibiotics, and then we'll have biobanking soon. Well, malaria is almost over, but if you are interested, please register. Please try to register right now. So they are not available every time. Okay, that's the problem. So really try to see with Deshmook when they are available. We are working to have them available anytime for Institut Pasteur members, but it's not yet feasible. I hope it will be feasible during your first year of PhD, so it will be better soon. Thank you very much. So this is the 2 websites. Well, really the first website is interesting. And then just remember MOOC at pasteur.fr. Also the Twitter account and my name if it's useful, Clémentine. I'm the only, I used to be the only one, I'm not the only one. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. All the material will be on the Graduate Office website, so you can click on the QR codes at your leisure. Remember the timing to register at different times during your 3 years. Don't wait for the 3rd year to try to do 10 or 5 MOOC to get the diploma. Try to pace it out over 3 years. 1 in the 1st year, maybe 2, then 2 again, and then 1, or something like that. Okay, thank you. So the next presenters will be from the Bioinformatics Hub at Pasteur. In 2016, it became mandatory for all incoming PhD to follow the bioinformatics course because biology is turning more digital, more with computer more with computing into it. At Pasteur, we have a huge community of bioinformaticians. So they are here today to present us what are the facilities that you can have access to, but also every month or throughout your 3 years, who you can go to and ask questions about bioinformatics. So please, Amaury and Elodie.
Okay, so I am Elodie Chateaublanc and this is Amaury Weiss. So we are from the
hub is under the direction of Marie-Agnès Gilly and Hervé Ménager. So how we interact with the campus, so the hub is composed with 60 research engineers, and we can interact on the campus in different ways. So we have direct support, so we can ask questions or we can work on a common project. And this work is visible with a lot of publications where the hub members are associated. We are also, like we said just a few minutes ago, the knowledge transfer. So the hub participates to a lot of training, not for all PhD, but for all the campus. The hub also develops methods and tools in order researchers can visualize, manage, or just store all the data. And beyond the campus of Institut Pasteur, the hub interacts at different levels with the bioinformatics community to the national and also European level. So for the support for a campus, bioinformatics interact in a lot of domains, like you can see in biology but also medicine. So we have genomics, transcriptomics, phylogeny, and so on. So the more important for you, so how do you interact with the hub? It's very easy. Just remember that the first entry is to go to the Research Pasteur website. We can find all information about the hub, so we have the hub members, the group, and so on. And we can also have all information about the PhD training that Amaury explained just after. So why work with the members? Because we are a large team and we are skilled in several domains, so it's very important for you. And it's also often free because it's paid by Pasteur. It depends on your needs, but often it's free. And you can interact in several levels, so just can be one question and we can give you quick advice, or it's for a large project and we can work together. And easy way to interact and to meet us is to go to the Yersin building, the 24 building. Each Tuesday morning you can just came and we can meet and we can discuss about your question, about your project, and we can see if we can work together or not.
So, at GHub we are involved in training, but we have a specific program for PhD students. The reason for this program is that now in biology, everything is related to computation. Any experiment that you make will generate data that you will have to analyze, either with big bioinformatics computation or some statistical analysis, even standard ones, but you have to perform them. So this course, this program was created first with a statistical mandatory program. Then we added several stuff in bioinformatics. You see, in bioinformatics, which is organized as a first level courses. Then courses that depends on these first level courses. And in 2020, we also added a mandatory common core that some of you have already followed. And this course is in collaboration with the Hub of Image Analysis. They handle this part of the course. So first, the main mandatory part are the course about statistics, because you need to know at least a basic notion of statistics to avoid mistakes even during the design of your experiment. In this course, you learn how to code in R, widespread software for bioinformatics. You read and write your own code to create beautiful graphs, to add statistical tests on the information of the statistical test. Then you learn more advanced, relatively advanced procedure like linear regression, ANOVA, and at the last course is about multidimensional data, how to reduce the dimension of the data, and how to make sense of them. For the bioinformatics course, we have 11 modules, starting from the basic unique commands. From the basic unique commands with an advanced lesson at the end, to specific topic-specific courses. For instance, the ones that you can follow without having followed any course are concerned how to use Unix command, how to use the Maestro Maestro cluster, which is the facility that we have at Pasteur to perform higher throughput computation. You learn how to handle sequence data and how to use the Galaxy, which is a way to have an easy access to bioinformatics tool for non-bioinformaticians. Another series is about the HTS data analysis. From the biological sample and library preparation, you have sequence read that you lead in the B4 course, which is about basic concept. You learn how to treat the sequence read. Then you obtain fast QC, and you learn how to process them for example, variant calling analysis, variant calling, then GWAS analysis. The second series starts from the B4 course, which here is, we are in the same. Just an illustration of what I just said. From a map file, which is your sequence on a genome, you can, for example, have the distribution visualization of the depths, then you can use that to, for example, perform ChIP-seq analysis. Just to have an example here. And then, what I wanted to say from the B5 course, so B5 is expression quantification and differential analysis. If you select to do a B5 course, you will be able to enroll in the single set analysis with all the illustration of how you represent this data. And to conclude here, you have here the link of the program, the PhD program, and we welcome you every Tuesday morning from 10 to 12 at the Yersin building for first contact if you want to collaborate, or for a short-term assistance if you have a few precise questions. And at the research.pasteur page, you will find a link to come to the open desk by Teams. If you do not want to go to the yourself, you do not have time, you can reach us every Tuesday morning from 10 to 12 by Teams. Thanks.
Merci. Thank you, Amélie and Aurélie. So, as you can see, there are quite a few facilities, merci beaucoup, to help you with your work, which means that you need to discuss early in your project what are the different tools you will require. Of course, it sounds a lot, I know, but now at the PhD level to publish, you will have to process, you will have to plan, you will have to do statistics, you will have to follow digital courses and so on. So we rather prepare you now, rather than you come in your PhD a bit as an amateur, which is normal, but then you stay as an amateur for 3 years. So we want, and in the Paris area, the advantage we have is we have all these facilities that you can use. You can imagine at Pasteur they are sequencing about 5 to 8 genomes per day for the purpose of diagnostics or others. So you might have to plan for that, learn how to do RNA-seq and process your data or image analysis. So this is work. Now we want to also show you what other opportunities you can have to interact. And one of these opportunities is to interact with other students. So we have a member of the STAPA Student Association that will present to you, and Angelique. So let me find the place.
Okay, so hello everyone. I see some familiar faces already. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Angelique and I'm the head of communications for STAPA, so the Student Association of Pasteur, where everyone is welcome. So I will take a second here. This is not working. So we will do this. So I will let this slide for just a moment. This is the current STAPA Bureau. There will be elections coming soon, so we will change. But take a look at these faces. If you have any idea that could help STAPA, you can stop us if you see us around campus and speak to us, and we're open to that. So who we are, mainly we're the young researchers of Institut Pasteur, meaning you, the PhDs, but also postdocs, interns, any kind of person who comes at Pasteur for a stage. And we have an elected bureau, a volunteer committee, so people who want to help us organize events but don't want to spend more time being part of the bureau. And of course, the core of STAPA, which is the students and the interns and the postdocs. So what do? We organize events. We organize events that have either social character, scientific character, or career-oriented character. And this we do with collaboration with the MASC and the Startup Awareness Office, Pasteur Innovation Group, etc. You already heard from these people. So the most important event that we do, and that I think you all should participate because it's super fun and it includes free beer, is the STAPA Social Time, which happens every Friday at 6 at the 25. It's the building that you cross to get here. So every Friday at 6:30, sorry. So the music will lead you to us, so please come. We organize special events on STAPA Social Time. And for example, the upcoming one is December 2nd. We're organizing a pizza poster session, so there will be pizza. And of course, we do themed parties like Halloween or St. Patrick's Day, so it's fun. Please be there. Now, what we try to reorganize post-COVID is the STAPA Retreat, where we go to another Institut Pasteur of the network. This is a trip abroad where we do it in a little conference-like manner. So if any one of you wants to help organize this thing, feel free to contact us and we will find something for you to do, don't worry. And we're also trying to recreate this ski trip that STAPA used to do in the Alps, which will probably happen in March, so keep your eyes open for that. So in the scientific events, we try to do a lot of conferences with companies and any kind of event that will promote what we do and what other people do. And the most important coming up this summer will be the Young Researchers in Life Sciences, which takes place here in Paris. And STAPA, together with the student associations of other institutes in Paris, organize this event. So this would be also super cool, and if anyone wants to volunteer to help organize or participate, please feel free to contact us.
So now coming from COVID again, we try to recreate all these events like STEPA movie nights and LGBTQA in STEM and any kind of event that can breed science with social time. And together with Yongun, we're organizing the startup breakfast, and we're now looking for new members to take this over and help in the organization. So if you're interested to help with that, you can contact either the STEPA Bureau or our president at the moment, Valerio Laghi. And this Friday there will be the social time as every other time at 6:30. This will be in co-organization with Yongun for the Startup Awareness Office. And I know it's been a long day, so I'm not going to say too much. I will be organizing, so come find me if you have any more questions. And please, please, please subscribe to the STEPA mailing list. So this list exists for you. There will be questions for reagents or scientific questions or housing or people selling stuff. So it will be of help to you, and it will be of help to the Pasteur Society. So if you want to make our lives easy and you want to subscribe to this list, please do so on the website at STEPA OVH. Do not email the whole list because everyone who's in the list will get your request. Just go to the website and we will add you. And then if you want to send something out, then you use this email address. So if you have any idea for an event that you think would be nice to be organized in Pasteur and you want to do it, or if you want to be a part of the new bureau since the election are coming up, or if you have any kind of questions, please contact us at the bureau /STEPA.fr. And that's it from me for now. Come drink beer on Friday. So, very briefly, thank you. I'm gonna fix my hat.
So any questions, you can go to the Friday via hour.
Yeah,
meet
and you
them
can
and
come
discuss.
find me. I will be there this Friday for sure. Okay, you want to introduce?
As I said before, you have a lot of contact people in your department. So we are going to present you who are the representatives in your department that you can go to and have access to information or ask questions.
Yeah, so, okay, the PhD life can be stressful, we all know that. Welcome. Brace yourselves. And to make this a little bit easier, each department in Institut Pasteur have 2 elected representatives and 2 substitute representatives that breeds the PhDs with a direction, and to do that we have monthly meetings between the PhD representatives of the departments to hear the requests, discuss them among us with DashMook, and then forward it to the direction when action needs to be taken. So it is important that you know who these people are within your department, so that if you have any kind of problem, you can contact them directly, and it can be either something that you want to make known or something that you don't want to make known. We're here for you to guide you and help you if anything goes wrong, and as a first step before taking care with the tutora platform. So is there anyone who has no idea which their department is? Okay, that's good. So either I can go department by department, or I can select the departments of the people who are attending. So Desmond, do you think we have every department, or I should make a little poll?
Everyone is here. So the idea is that we can show you
Everyone.
Yeah.
Let's do it this way. Do we have people from the cellular biology and infection department? Perfect. Okay. So this is your head of the department. Okay, and these are your 2 representatives at the moment. You have no suppleants, and probably elections will be coming soon. So if you are interested to take this role, which we'd like to keep it for 2 years so that there's a little bit of continuity, you know the job, then you can do it. You can reach out to your department's assistant and ask when elections will be held and that you want to participate. So do we have people from the computational biology? Yes, okay, hi. So these are your representatives, Daniel, Mara, and Ocean. So if you see them around, do you know how the emails work at Pasteur? That the emails are the first name, the second name, at Pasteur to the first. So put down the names, and then you know how to email these people.
You will have the presentations on the Graduate Office website after this.
Yeah. So for the developmental biology, you have people. We don't have the elections are actually happening this week. They're starting today, and the results will be announced Friday. So maybe you still have time if you want to be part of the elections and become the next representatives in your department. So please email Dorian, the person here, and she will put you in the list. If not, for the moment, it's Miriam and Leah, the two names, who will be replaced very, very soon. So genomes and genetics. Yay! So elections will also be held this month, so if you are interested, please contact Agnes. And for the moment, you can reach out to Egil and Mathieu if you have any pressing issue. Santé Globale. Yeah. So you have Yves, Maëlys, and Victoire for the moment, but elections will also be happening in your department very, very soon. So reach out to them if you want to be considered as a new PhD representative. Well, for the Institut de l'Audition, we don't have anyone because this is not at Pasteur grounds. This is still in Paris, but not on campus. So we're moving on to immunology. Perfect. So it's Elsa, Vanessa, and Anna. Anna is substituting for the two substitutes who are now graduating. So elections will also be held very, very soon. So you can contact your department's assistants if you're interested. Microbiology. Okay. So these are the PhD reps who participate the most, I must tell. These are Sol, Emile, Cyril, and Samuel. Emile will be graduating soon, but the others are still here, and they're very active on Stapa Social Time as well, so if you need to contact them somehow, you can find them at Stapa on Friday as well. Mycology. Okay. Elections will be held very soon. I'm really sorry, but this is really, the time where people leave and new people come, and this is where the elections will take place. But it's good that you know who to contact even in such instances. Neuroscience. Okay. So we have Enzo and Camille, who are currently the PhD representatives. So any issue you have, you can contact them and ask them how long they plan to stay in office if you're interested to replace them. Parasites and insects. Okay. Elections will be held very soon. I know. So there is Daniel Abdul at the moment, but I think the best would be to contact the assistants to ask for when the elections will be held. Biology, structural biology, and chemistry. Okay, this is the same. I can tell you that the elections are tomorrow. So you're a bit late if you want to apply, I guess, but you can try. So you can contact the secretary if you're interested. And for the virology department, yeah, I know you guys, we already met. So this is me and Felix, who are your representatives. You can always reach out to us, and anyone who cannot manage to get a hold of the assistant or cannot find out who their representative is, please feel free to contact me, and I will guide you towards the right direction. So do you have any questions, or I think we're good. It's been a long day, I know. So thank you very much, and hang in there.
I know it's a lot of info.
Yeah.
Imagine the previous welcome days, you had the last one, plus all this on the same day. So basically you were roasted at the end of the day. One of the issues that is key in human societies is also to have openness and balance of interaction with other people. So we have the chance since a couple of years to have some people on campus who engage and get involved for inclusion and equity, against racism or against harassment and other forms. You probably know in science the number of people directing labs who are males or females is not equal, and people fight against that, work against that. So we have a couple of people from the DEI, the Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Community and Group at Pasteur, who will present you what they do. So I welcome Anna.
Hi all, thank you very much, Deshmukh, for the kind introduction. And so it's our great pleasure to present the DEI group at Pasteur. DEI stands for Diversity, Equity and Inclusion. So what are we? We are a group of Pasteurians exchanging about diversity and equity. We exchange in a scientific manner, which are paper about research and numbers about, as Deshmukh said, the number of male and female at different stage of career in science. And everyone is welcome to share and share their experience and knowledge about this subject. So where are we localized? We are on a team. So this is sort of our social network at Pasteur, so I highly encourage you to install the application, even if you are more in experimental science, since it will give you access to many activities such as the DEI, but also seminars and a lot of things. So what is the story of the DEI? I am an engineer at the Hub of Biostatistics and Bioinformatics, and it started here in the hub. At first, Hacker organized events between us female engineers, and we shared our experiences. And then from this discussion arose the idea of organizing cafes around this type of subject. Then it seemed to meet a sort of need on the campus, and many people seem to be interested. And little by little, we grown our community. We started centered on gender equality subject, but now we are trying to encompass every subject touching to fairness in the science. Everyone is contributing and sharing their knowledge. We contribute to some institutional efforts such as the Gender Week and the Gender Month. And through all this work, we gathered a lot of contents because we organize seminars. So we have recordings of these seminars on our channel. And now we are growing our community and involving more and more people in the organization. So what are our actions? At the moment we have two recurring events. One is called DIS Cafés, which stands for Diversity in the Science Cafe. So the idea is to discuss scientific results on diversity. So there is two main topics, sort of. One that targets bias in our scientific activities, for instance, the imbalance in the use of female and male animal in experimental research. And the other broad subject will be how can we mitigate unfairness in science. And so, for instance, we had experts sharing neuroscience results on how to mitigate gender bias, for instance, in science. We have another type of event that is cheap cafes, that has As the name suggests, it's just gathering between us, and so we can discuss every topic we have in mind. And from time to time, we organize punctual events. As example, this Saturday we will have a group of pastorians going to the walk against sexist violence that is organized by Mutut. So through all these events, we gathered a number of resources that are available on the team channel. So you have the recordings, we have a library with books from our community, so it's very informal, but you can borrow books if you want. We have a list of scientific reference on equity in science. We have a list of safe doctors, pastor, and we also have a number of disclaimers for every sub-channel we have on our team channel, which explain the 101 on a subject. For instance, we have a very well done wrote a disclaimer by Joan Luzang on anti-racism. And we also wanted to point that you have resources by the pastoral institution, and you have a specific page to report situation of harassment or difficulties that you could encounter. So now I will let Alexis present our contributions to.
Thank you. So hello everyone. My name is Alexis Matamoro Vidal. I am a postdoc in the Department of Developmental Biology. And as Anna, I use some of my free time to try to promote gender equality and inclusion on the campus. And so at the beginning, the idea was to make things change around us in the lab or in the department. And smaller, the group has increased, and now we managed to interact at the level of the institute to promote change at a bigger level. And so here are a few examples that illustrate this. So we participated to the organization of the Gender Month in 2021 on the Gender Week this year. So these were two conference series dedicated to the question of gender equality in the context of academia. So in 2021 it was during a spread over a full month, and you have all the recording of this conference on the Teams channel that you are very welcome to listen at. And this year it was restricted to a week, and hopefully next year we will do another one. So also we contributed to establish the GEP, that stands for Gender Equality Plan. So this is a document that I bring a few of them here. You are welcome to take. So it's an official document where the institute commit to implement some actions favoring gender equality. And in addition, few of us are now part of the ERG-DAI group, which stands for the Group of Resource Employees for Diversity, Equity and Inclusion. And so this is a group that you are welcome to join as well, that whose job is to make sure that the actions indicated in the Gender Equality Plan are actually done on the campus. So yeah, quickly just two examples to show the participation of the group to actions at the level of the institute. So we are done. So to conclude, you are very welcome to join us on the Teams channel. So you can register to the channel and just read and look at the information that is shared there. Also, you can, of course, yourself share information on this channel, and you are also very welcome to participate to the different events that are organized and promoted on the channel. So thank you for your time, and if you have questions, we are welcome to discuss. Thank you.
So you have the information, and you can also, if people left, so you can distribute to your department so that they can also join. I think If you have further questions, we will have a small pause at the 25. So there's orange juice and Madeleine if you want to have a snack and get to meet each other. And I would like to thank you all for attending. So I know it's a lot of information, but you will get all the PowerPoints and you can get all the contact info for all the people. So welcome at Pasteur, and remember that you are surrounded by many people to help you do your PhD. So thank you and see you soon.
But what is that? They sent me there, right?
It's all covered. You don't have to, you imagine it costs 3,000 euros for the lab.
Moi, mon tuyau, il a jamais, il m'a jamais envoyé son avis.
So I will send an email at the break, and then I will give it to him. What is, remind me your name? Okay. I think you asked me another question before the... Okay, so don't worry. Non, il faudra m'envoyer un mail. Est-ce que tu as reçu l'invitation pour venir à cet événement ou c'est quelqu'un qui t'a dit?
Non, celui-là, oui, j'ai reçu.
Ah, donc tu es maintenant dans le système de MyStora.
Oui, ça, j'ai rempli.
Donc il te manquerait du coup les précédents diapos, les t-shirts, etc. Donc je vais envoyer un petit courrier pour vous dire de venir au bureau.
Très bien.
Comme vous n'êtes pas très nombreux, on a donné mais
votre bureau, il est
dans le centre d'enseignement, dans le jardin.
Merci, au revoir.
Quick question. I think you told us you talked also about the ethics code.
Yes, which I didn't say, but you will be getting an email automatically from the Ethics and Scientific Integrity platform.
Do you have an idea?
The first group will be next week.
Okay.
And then after that, groups of 20 until December.
Okay, so it's all taking place before.
And one will be in June next year because of other people coming in.
Okay. Thank you.
Will you ask the people to stay or come back, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't want to make any.
But like, can we open a door or something? Because it smells like shit. Yeah.
Smells like France.
Yeah.
I think some of the speakers kept going for longer periods.
You can kick them off.
I didn't know how to. At conferences, you have a kind of a mandate to keep it on with kind of people.
What do you need?
Cups? Yeah, I have one. Oh, no cups. I had one extra bowl, but my friend stole it. No, I don't have it anymore. Sorry. I had one. For today.
I have it at home.
Have you seen it?